Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. This is part 3 of my collection of Transformers. We start off with some of the loose collections on here. So these are the Masterpiece version of Ratbat, the Micromaster Transport Erector, the Triggercon Wind Sweeper, the G1 version of Rewind. Now the reason that one I had to get is because when you buy the commemorative edition of Blaster, it comes with 3 of the 4 cassettes. For some reason this poor guy gets left off, so never mind, it just meant I got to get him separately. Another Micromaster Transport, this one is Rough Stuff. And then in the background we have the 2 Cyberjets from the latter release stages of Generation 2. So this particular one is Hooligan. And the other one, I'm not absolutely certain of the name. I will have to look it up and put it down underneath, but nevertheless that's one of the other Cyberjets. Over to this side we have a number of Micromaster Patrols, namely the Off-Road, the the Race Car Squad, Race Patrol, and the Rescue Patrol. And there's also the Air Force Patrol there too. And over all Autobots. And on this side we have the Autobot Battle Patrol, then you have the Decepticon Patrols, the Sports Car Patrol and the Airstrike Patrol. Moving on into the actual case in itself, so I'll just open up the windows so you get a better idea. On the top we have some more loose Transformers, namely the G1 release of Scorponok. Takes up such a huge amount of space it has to go somewhere different. Next to it you have the G1 release of the Bomb Burst. I always want to call him Bombshell, but of course that's someone different, but Bomb Burst. And the 6-team combiners. So 6-team combiner team, otherwise coloured as Devastator, and the 6-team turbo team. They just kind of, particularly when you look at Bomb Burst and Scorponok, you get an idea of the size of him. You then have the Masterpiece release of Bumblebee and Spike, and then on the top there you have the Masterpiece release of Frenzy and Ravage, or as they call him, Rumble and Jaguar. I'm not going to go in the debate of which one's which. Moving down we have Fighter Club. Now this is a 3-figure release. If we come over the side you can see what they're of. They are of some of the Seekers, namely Acid Storm, Amethyst and Sunstorm. It's a really nice packaging, you get some nice artwork on them. And also you get a whole history around the actual fighters as well, which is quite nice as well, so it's something to read too, which I thought was quite a nice little touch to it. We then have the Legends release of Titan's Return, this one's Skull Cruncher. Unique Toys release of Sharkies. In the background you can just see the G1 release of Shockwave, and then over here we then have another Masterpiece release of Frenzy, as they call him, and Buzzsaw, or Rumble as I can call him. And over to the side there you can just see there is the Legends versions of Titan's Return Blur, which I got because I particularly like the fact that they've matched it to the cartoon, or the movie in particular release. Moving down, we have the Legends release of Titan's Return Scourge, the commemorative edition release of Piranacon. In the back, you just see the commemorative release of Power Master Optimus Prime, and then the MTC Make Toys Company's release of Giant Type 61, which I'm sure you can all see is Devastator. Finally, further down here, so start off on this side. So this is my only alternators release of Hound, which I got because it's a particularly nice version of Hound in the revised Jeep. The robot mode I'm less convinced about, I have to say, but the actual Jeep mode is particularly nice. On top we have another Legends release of Titan's Return. This one is Hardhead. You can't tell it from there, but you can certainly tell from over there. Again, I got that because I think it's a particularly nice looking toy. Next to those, we have the Masterpiece release. I'll start again. The Masterpiece release of Sunstreaker and Sideswipe, or as they like to call them, Sunstreaker and Lambor. So it's interesting that one was changed differently and the other one isn't, but never mind. over here we have the Toy World release of Hegemon, aka Megatron. And over here we have the Masterpiece release of Wheeljack. In the background, and we'll just come over this side. So that's just Piranacon in the background of the toys. We then have the commemorative releases of Dirge, Skywarp and Thundercracker. Okay, so that's all in this side. I'll just take you over to the final couple of boxes to have a look at. Here's the final couple of shelves to look at. It started to get quite difficult to figure out where to put all the Transformers, particularly the loose ones, so they are a little bit scattered around. I'm sure that might change at some point. So in front we have the Legends versions of Prowl, Hound and quite a nice version of Brawn, which goes very well then with the G1 release of Brawn there as well, so you can see the differences between them. In the background we have the Sparkabots, Sizzle, Fizzle and Guzzle, and then in the front we have the Firecons, Cindersaur, Sparkstalker and Flame Feather. None of which are particularly good toys, but I needed somewhere to put them and this seemed a bit out of the way, so that seemed the ideal spot. And finally we end with this shelf. So this consists of the Generation 2 powered Master Stacks. Yes, you can see from the reviews and the stop motion that his transformation is anything but exciting. And then the Micromaster Transport Flat Top. Its background are two effectively Generation 1.5, so they were European only releases of the Predators. You've got Falcon on the left, and on the right is another one whose name escapes me. I want to say Talon. I'll put it down if it's right or not underneath. And then finally in the background, now this is a more recent acquisition. It's not in the box because I particularly like the transformation. It's Reflector, the third-party release. And I got it because, well, just look at it. It's one of the more convincing cameras versions of Reflector I've seen. And I say it's relatively recent, and because I quite like it, I decided to keep it out on display. And it fits quite nicely in that little box as well. Okay, that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Please click, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review in stop motion. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.